It is finally time for Printmaking Center to open. I'm going to show you a few things we have in the center. It's just this shelf here. Over here will eventually be 3D design. Let's go through printmaking. In this drawer, we are going to have box cutters and pens. Spoons. Yes, we need spoons. These are linoleum cutters. We have metal scrapers. We have brayers, rubber brayers. And we have holding blocks. Down here we have plastic sheets. This is going to be for spreading ink. Right now we just have styrofoam plates. Eventually we will have linoleum plates, but for now it's just styrofoam. Then we have cutting mats. And down here we have the printing ink. For the project, I'm going to need a block, a styrofoam block, a cutting mat. I'm going to need a box cutter and a pen and another tool I can use, which I'm going to use to cut into the material, are the pencils at the tables. I can use this and I'll show you how. These are A5 size. You can use them to create a whole artwork, or you can cut them down, make smaller artworks, or you can make just little stamps with them. I'm going to do a version of each. I'm going to cut this down maybe into about a square. With the box cutter, I'm going to run a line like this. Notice I didn't cut all the way through, it's just a line. It's easiest just to go and it creates a clean cut. Then I just bend it the other way. And there it is. I'm going to set this aside for now. The first thing I'm going to do on here is I'm going to create a stamp. And I think I'm going to create a leaf stamp. So, I'm going to show you two versions of leaf stamps. First, I can create one version using the thick colored pencils, and I can just draw a leaf into the styrofoam. As I push, the styrofoam is being forced down. I'm going to keep doing that. Force it down a little more. Okay, now anything I have not sort of drawn on is going to print. That means if I put ink on this and print it down, you're going to see all of this space around it. Maybe I don't want that. Two things you can do. First, you can take your colored pencil and you can just color in that whole space. It'll push it down so you can no longer see it. Or you can take your box cutter and cut all the way around your object. Break it off. And I could use this as my stamp. You can cut it down, and with a pen, you can draw into it. Anything you draw is going to show up white. Anything you don't draw is going to show up in color. So I finished my plate. Now it's time to print. I need first a plastic sheet for ink. I need a rubber brayer. I need the metal scraper. I need a spoon. And I need the colors of ink. I'm gonna take green and yellow. Notice I've also taken a mat from the painting center because this is going to get a little messy. So to save me time and cleanup, I'm gonna put this under. Here I have my plastic clear sheet. This is where I'm going to mix my color. This is sort of like my palette. First, give the ink a good shake. Really important. Only use a tiny, tiny bit of ink. Look at how much ink that is. Compared to my fingernail, it's smaller than my fingernail. You do not need much ink. It is very strong. Okay. Once I have my ink out, I can take and first sort of spread it out with my metal scraper. I want my green to be a little more yellow, so I'm going to mix two colors together. Okay, here I have yellow and green with my metal spatula. I'm just going to mix them into each other. And sort of okay, that looks like a nice color. I'm going to set my spatula here. Then I take my brayer and I'm going to roll it out. Go side to side. Again, I'm rolling on the clear plastic here. And I'm going to roll until I hear that noise, that sort of sticky noise. You want it to be very thin. Then, whatever object I want to print, I'm going to roll the ink on top. Whoops. Set my brayer here. Take whatever I want to add. I can start with a clean sheet, or I can add this to an old artwork. I'm going to try both. All right, I can take and just press, or I can take a spoon and also use that to press down. Okay, there I have that leaf here. See what happens if I ink this whole plate. I noticed I'm running a little low on ink. That's fine, I'm just going to come back over here, roll, fill it up. Make sure I cover everything. Now, because I'm printing so big of an area, I'm definitely going to use the spoon for this one. I'm going to take my paper, lay it on top. Now, it's kind of tricky not to get it straight. And I'm going to take my spoon and just push all over my paper. You have to really be careful not to to hold things in place. Takes a little practice sometimes. Okay, then I can pull it up, and there's my print. Oh, that's cool. Some of the ink printed off. I like that effect. When you're finished printing, don't forget to sign your artwork. Write your name on it. Take take your artwork, anything you printed, and anything you inked up, you're gonna take both, everything, to the drying rack. Now, cleanup is very important. My spoon is clean, I can put that back. These 3 things I need to clean in the sink. So, to clean these 3 items, first, you can take the plastic and lay it in the bottom of the sink. You can take the water, turn it on, let it run. And a few methods, you can scrape the paint off. You can use your fingers, or we have these sponges here. That probably works the best. Get all that water off. Make sure they're really, really clean. If you leave any ink on the supplies, it's gonna get sticky and it's gonna be unusable. And then make sure you take everything back and put it back where you found it. Plastic here, brayers here, metal here. Take a look back at your spot. Wash your table. Put your chair up, and you're done.